everyone, it's Nat here. Hope you're all doing well. I'm on for this week's Friday book haul. Of course, open collaboration. If you want to join in, just add the hashtag Friday book haul to your description box. Now, there should be a list below this video and all my book hauls of other people that are participating. I must double check and add any that I have missed lately. I've been a bit slack keeping up with my YouTube and that. So yes, I must go through. I have to watch everyone's book hauls as well, which is something that I always try to do. But yes, a bit under the weather with the migraine stuff the last few weeks, and I tell you what, that slows you down when it comes to social media. So yeah, so I've got a few books here today. There were a pile of magazines, so of course I grabbed them. Not that I haven't just harvested 1,000 of them. Bit of an exaggeration, but not much. Yeah, I harvested a pile just to get them out of the house, but I find it too hard to sort of let them go without seeing what's in them, because you get so many cool pictures for the journals and the glue books out of them. So there were a pile of Australian geographics. There might still be some in one of my bags, but it was a bit slow at work at times, so I did harvest a few at work, so I didn't bring too much bulk home. So this is Railways of Australia. It's one of the little inserts that fell out, so I always hang on to them because I might do something with them one day. There were a pile of National Geographics, which are even better, so I grabbed them. This one's 85, so they're a bit old too, which is nice. But yeah, cool stuff in them. It's 83, 2020, I think, 96. I don't think that's 2020. It says 2020 up there, but anyway. 84, so yeah, all from the 80s by the looks. This one's a newer one. Your Personality Explained. That would be scary. But yeah, even stuff like these hands, awesome for glue booking, and I've been having fun going through all the boxes of pages that I've harvested and sorting them all out into themes and whether I want to use them in my journals or my glue book. So that's fun, and I'm getting it organised now, which means I might actually be able to start doing some soon. It's just been such a mess everywhere that it's been hard to motivate to do any collaging and glue booking and that, because yeah, I need to sort of have organised first. There was a Vogue. These don't often end up in the shop or out in the bins or whatever, so I grabbed that because I thought that'd be great for some faces and people. So lots in there I can use. Oh look, I got something. Fragrance. I'll have to give that a sniff later. Yeah, that looks like it's going to be heaps of fun to harvest that one. Now I've got this book on ferns and a bookmark, which I will put with my other bookmarks. That one will be covered over and used. I'll make a bookmark out of it. Ferns, I like collecting fern stuff. Most of the stuff I get is your glossy and that, but I don't mind. I think I keep saying that, you probably get sick of hearing me say that, but I mean, most of the stuff these days is glossy, so it's good to get used to using it. 2008 for this one, but lots and lots of fern pictures, which I have collected a whole pile, so I think we're going to have to do a mass make on fern journals one day. But I do want to get started, hopefully tonight, on a mass make of some garden journals. That's my next project that I'd like to do. Flower Fairies of the Spring. So I purchased this one. You know, we all love these flower fairies. They're beautiful pictures. This one's, I was reading the 1923. Well, it's definitely not that old. 1990. Gorgeous, and what a great size for journal cards or even cover pictures. And I love them because they're not too childish. Some fairy books are very childish and not my sort of thing. These are beautiful, and then the flowers that go along with them. Grey's Anatomy. I always grab this when I find it. I've grabbed it before. They still use this as a textbook for psychology at university because I ended up buying one for my niece for, I think it was her birthday or something, and she wanted one when she was studying psych. I didn't need one when I was doing psych a few years back, but I think that's because I was doing the criminal psychology, not overall psychology. So, but it's really cool because the drawings in here are amazing and I love them. So I might look this one up. Sometimes they can be worth a bit because all the kids are looking for them for their studies, but this one's 2002. This one's got the tiniest writing. I need a magnifying glass for it, which is pretty cool actually for collaging and journals. But yeah, the pictures are just really cool and morbid. But I love them, and great size pages in this one. The other ones that I have seen or have got have been bigger hardcovers. These are nice little pictures. Very cool. Now, I did write a note for my for the people that work on the other days at the bookstore, because I get a bit stressed about you know, the old Reader's Digests and broken little golden books and that going in the bin when I could maybe use them one day. So I wrote a note, you know, if there are any of those that are heading for the bin, could they please put them aside for me? And I'm so surprised that someone read it. So because last week they were waiting for me 3 more of your Reader's Digest old books with the nice patterned covers. So that is so cool. I really appreciate that they noticed the note and kept these aside for me, because it is such a shame to know that these go to the bin. So I'll be harvesting the pages out of these and then keeping the covers for, they'll be great when I want to do another like set of journals. That's the oldest one, so the spine's no good, but that's all right because we'll just cover over it or replace it anyway. But I still think the front and back is fine with a bit of a clean. So that was lovely. There are a couple of folders with stuff in them, so I bring them home because they end up going to the recycling and they're not meant to be in the recyclable bin. So I thought I'd bring them home and just put them in my bin here. This one, I like the binders that have the 3 rings. I've given up using the 2-ring ones. I hate them because everything hangs out below them. So I could reuse this one, but it's a bit warped. I'll see. I might be able to warp it back and then use that one. If not, that can go in the bin. These are all the pages that I harvested while I was sitting. I meant to be working the other day. Usually I just work flat out, but yeah, I wasn't feeling that crash hot, so I thought, you know, I'd have a bit of a break here and there and just harvest some. It was an unusually quiet day because we're usually really busy on the day that I go in. So yeah, lots of pages for the glue book and the journals there. And these are the bits that came out of the Australian Geographics. You get some beautiful pictures in them. I grab a lot of the sceneries for my glue booking. I have a tendency to lean towards that sort of thing, so I'll have to see what I can do with them. I've been watching, well, I watched the other night, Dee Willingham. She does a lot of collage, glue booking and that. She uses that Abandoned Places book a lot. I think she said she has 14 copies of it or something. She does a lot of space themed ones, but she does amazing ones, and it's sort of the surrealism style, and I really like that, so I'm going to give that a go sometime. So there was another folder. That one's only 2 rings, so that will get binned. But in the folders, there are a whole lot of pages that I got rid of, but there are a lot of these divider bits. And these are quite nice card. And they've got the tabs as well, so I might use them and cover over them. I could always fold them in half and have the tabs up the top of the page or something as well. So they're in too good a nick to not reuse those. Okay, what next? I know there was a pile of junk somewhere, but I'm not sure where that ended up. This out. These were just start pages that I wanted out of books that had, I love the writing on some of them. This one was from 1921. I used to, like if a book was that old, I used to just grab it because it was antique, but you know, if it's a boring book, I don't now because I have so many of them. This one's from 78, but I like the library sticker in there and the subscriptions stamp, that sort of thing. I like the title pages a lot of the time as well, so I grabbed them all out. Summer Hills, that's a nice one. Lots of blank pages. This is the window box book. I think this had some really sweet little pictures in it. Yeah, these window boxes I thought were really sweet. There was another one in this series, but the pictures weren't quite as nice, so I left that one behind. So it doesn't have a date, missing a page. But yeah, it's mainly these sort of pictures I thought I might be able to do something with. Very cute. There was a whole, someone bought in all these books and they weren't in good condition. But there was a whole lot of the person's paperwork as well, with their personal details and everything. So we were busy just going through and chucking it all in the bin. But you know me, I had to rate it and grab the stuff that I wanted to keep. There were a whole pile of these, I think, that I grabbed. They're just little fold outs with some information. But I thought that'd be fun to cover and make into something. A little envelope. Book on bulbs. Now this, these are the front pages of the book I just showed you that were missing. I must have grabbed these thinking I wasn't going to take the actual book and then decided I'd take the book. But, I love that page. And that would have been the start page in the other book that I didn't take. But I like the start page, so definitely reuse those pieces. I get so excited about that sort of stuff more than I do like a beautiful big book that I buy that has heaps of pictures in it. It's very weird. So this is bulbs. Date is 93. Nice pictures. I have a lot of this sort of stuff. I'm trying to avoid it, but it's very hard because I do love the pretty pictures. And I do collect for themed garden journals, like daffodils, sunflowers, that sort of thing. So I always harvest them out. Beautiful irises. American Dream, a new folk art. Now that has some start pages shoved in it. This one is 75. I think I looked at this for glue booking again. Beautiful background page. It's a bit pertinent for these days, isn't it? Rainbow colours. Yeah, I'd say mainly glue book fodder in this one. Definitely some beautiful backgrounds. Birds of New Zealand. It's a little calendar. Two 2004. Kiwi. Oh, that's pretty. Hope the glare's not too bad. It's just these. If I turn it that way, is it better? Not really. Some nice little pictures there. Another magazine here. Jones, 2016. Never seen a Jones magazine. Don't know if it's David Jones or something. But again, glue book fodder. Intelligence of Animals. '94. Had this one before. I love that picture. It's nice. So this is one I'll probably harvest pretty quick. I remember I've just put a whole lot of these pictures away from this book into my folders. Elephants. Oh, that's really cool. Look how long the tongue is. That's as long as his body. That's really weird. Okay, now last bag. I have a few bits and pieces. I think this is where all my rubbish is. How the looks. Some would call it rubbish anyway. We call it treasures. There were sticky notes. This was all in the pile of rubbish that came in the bag books. I did seem to get, I think there were a few library cards in the books this week, which was cool. So I salvaged what I could of them. There's another one of them flip out little card things that I want to alter. There were these mental health first aid action plan. So I'll probably just cover them. Vehicles and business expense log. I checked that it didn't have personal information in it and grabbed it. So I can use the paper. A whole lot more of those cards. Library card. Another envelope. I grabbed these. This does have personal information, but I've grabbed it for the stamp. So, and then I will dispose of the personal information. It's not my fault people put their personal information in and then bring it into the bookstore. Modern architecture, critical history. I picked this one up, put it back into the bin, and then thought, no, might as well harvest it. 1980, this one. I do love the old pictures though. And then we've got a library card in this. So I will go through and harvest the pictures that I like. That's very steampunkish, that one. I sort of see modern architecture and think it is going to be all modern stuff, but it's not necessarily, is it? Sometimes it is, like they say, a history of architecture. So beautiful vintage lady there. Malcolm Hillier's Colour Garden. This one's a bit dirty. Beautiful pictures though. 95. Again, another one that I've got plenty of ones like it, but the pages are quite nice and thick. So, and because it's not so old, you can get the big pages, fold them in half, and they're not too brittle to do that with, to make pages out of. And just the colours are amazing. And when I open a journal that has this sort of thing, and it makes me happy, just all the colours. These are great too, aren't they? Earth Garden, I've had a few of these before. I don't really like them, but I like the colour of the pages, and some of the pictures are really cool, so I harvest them anyway. This one is 2000. You wouldn't think so with the colour of the things, but yeah. Oh, What's that? Something about dog poo-loo. Ideas for a dog poo-loo. Fair enough. So there's not a lot. I mean, you could just use the pages because they look pretty cool, but I love this sort of thing. Blackberry. So yeah, a couple of those. And then I think this is the last thing I've got to show you. Usually I try and end it on something pretty cool, but I think I showed you the nicer things I got at the start. There wasn't a lot around lately, so I'm not even sure what sort of book this is. Does it say somewhere? It's probably a geographic, maybe an Australian geographic. That's cool. Oh yeah, I've harvested these pages. Great for glue booking. So this looks like it's from the 70s, early 80s. So yeah, a bit more harvesting to do now. I think I'll get to that in the next day or so, just to whittle these down rather than putting them in a box somewhere. I think that's what I used to do a lot because I didn't have things organised well enough. Things would just come and go into a box somewhere, and I ended up with a pile of boxes everywhere. So I've been sorting it all out so it all does fit onto the shelves, which is nice. So that is it for this week's book haul. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I hope you've had a good week, and I hope you have a really good weekend. Take care, be good, and I'll see you soon. Bye.